Good morning, and yes, it's me on Discussions. Sorry, it has been many weeks since I have posted an updated one. Been busy, lying. I've been lazy. I've been procrastination is my biggest default in my life, as probably as others, but it is. So I am here this morning, doing good. Getting ready to go to work this morning. I got to do a little time at the Park Ridge and partial shift. So shout out to them. Thank you for working with me, get me some hours in while in school. And so what's going on with school? What's going on? So far right now, what we got going on is that we have got one more test for our Med Surg 1. And then we have to take some type of ATI test, and which I'm not too worried about it. Been working on some practice ones like that, and so been doing that, and along with me and all my other classmates, we've all been working hard so far. Everybody is still in the game, which is very good to hear there. So then after that, I think next week we're going to be starting to ride into baby mama new territory for me here. And so I haven't dealt with a lot of pediatrics altogether, to be honest with you. But we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen there. So anyway, what are we going to talk about? What am I going to share about? I had a thought that came through the other day. And it wasn't too long ago, a couple of weeks ago. It was, I can't remember how many years, but it was the anniversary of my dad dying. And it's like not going to be a depressing one or anything like that. And so, but it just made me think about him and how good he was to our family and such, and the people all around him. Everyone really liked him. He was a well liked guy there. So the big thing that came across, I was just had a lot of things going on, a lot of pressures going back and forth, burning a lot of diesel in my truck. Haven't been staying up in Rock Hill because I had to come back, take care of some family things, and also work things, because Wednesday is my only day off during the week. So with all that being said, just, pressures of life, they just build up on you, and they build up and build up, and I had this thought that came across my mind. If everyone who knows us, I've always also made fun about my parents, is that they never really, to be honest with you, they never shared anything, and they were just, as far as with personal information. And it was so funny that we would go visit with our grandparents, and my mom would give us a list of things not to bring up. And I'm not saying bad things, but you're talking two different generations. Like my dad did very well in his work, but also he was very good with his hands. I mean, could fix anything. And so, we've always had boats and things, nothing big boats, to brag about, but they were, very good memories. We would go out fishing on the lake. We'll go out in the Gulf of Mexico when we lived down in South Mississippi for a time. But he could always do his own work. He was just so good at turning a wrench. And so when my grandparents very seldom ever came to visit with us because of the distance and their age and such. So we always go visit them. But anyway, I think back on it now, that she would say, well, don't you tell your grandmother that we got a new boat, or your dad got another boat, or this, or, there's little things like that not to bring up because, for whatever reason there. So, they just didn't share a lot. And where I'm going with this is, Dad never shared a whole lot, about his feelings or, pressures of life or anything of that nature there. He just was a very good role model, a good testimony just by watching of how he just worked and how he provided provided for us children and provided for mom, and was just overall very good. With that being said right there, I do remember one time I can't remember if I was in high school or I think I just left home, to be honest with you. I was in the Coast Guard. And not like then, no internet wasn't strong or anything. So he was listening to, from what I gathered, it kind of sounded like, like little motivational cassettes he was listening to or CDs, wherever he picked them up while he was, because at one time he had a little bit of a drive to go to work. And so, funny enough, that's what I do. I listen to a lot of podcasts whenever I have to make trips and such. That's just what I enjoy. And so it sounded like he was just talking about on like positive thinking. That's what it was. He said he was listening to someone talking about positive thinking and changing your thoughts around and things, something of that nature there. So, some reason that popped back into my head, my thoughts, because I just had a lot, going on. And it just made me think, what was, my dad and my mom, what were they thinking at my age? I'm 53. Now, my dad never made big career changes or nothing of that nature right there, and he stuck with the same job for over 35, I think, years or something. So, with that being said, with him never sharing thoughts or anything like that, or never talked about pressures of life and him how to deal with it. I never, got things of that nature right there, or never been taught things, but made me think the stresses that I have in my life, just everyday stress, just paying bills, working. EMS has been good, but I'm gonna be honest with you, EMS, you got to work overtime to pay bills. We're not extravagant spenders on our side, but economy's been bad. Things are going up. Fuel prices fluctuate. I'm not going to get into all of that, but that's my main thought is always work. And can I pick a shift up? Should I take a day off? Or when I do take a day off, I feel bad when I take a day off. And the things that nature that made me think about these things made me think, did he have these same thoughts? And so sometimes we get that made me start to think about of how wrapped up we get in our personal lives, and we all do it. And I'm telling you, there's times where I am very selfish in my thoughts of my woe is me's and no one doesn't know what I'm going through. I have those moments. I don't say them out loud. I've learned to kind of keep those to myself. But it made me really start to think of, what did my dad go through that he didn't share, that he kept it buried down, and I'm sure he had a lot of stress, what to be going through in life. My mom had some sicknesses and some pretty good scares with some cancer, a kidney removed, and loved her, but she, can't beat old Southern women. They're gonna have their sweet tea, cigarettes, and and everything deep fried, and that's just how we were raised. Awesome cook, but it catches up with you. And so I know he had some things, and he has some health, scares in his life, but he's never, shared how we truly felt about that. So it just made me starting to really think on what did he was going through that he never shared, that he that still provided my family. And it was kind of, just kind of an eye-opening with me, and it made me starting to think, of what he did, for us, and that nature there. And I've always told him he's been a good provider. We've had some moments where we share some things, but this makes me start to think that, what, we all go through this. And so, but I want you to sit back, what you can maybe take home from this. I guess I'm just rambling right now, and think about what your parents did for you. And everybody has different parents, good parents, bad parents, good raising, not good raising. I don't know that nature there. I'm not passing judgment on, for excuses of parents who did not take care of their children. But with that all being said, but I think just something to really think about, of what you're going through and that you don't share. I think it's kind of interesting to think, well, did my parents go through the same things? we're talking, two different generations, two different decades of stresses, or things to worry about. I think I don't want to say we have more to worry about today than we did then. Okay, I lied. I think we do to a degree, with our children, because now we have bigger things to worry about with social media. And I'm not even going to get down that road, but you know what I'm talking about. Everything is so accessible through the phone, good and bad things. We have to really watch our children's eyes of what they look at and what they put into their head. So I think, back, when I was growing, we didn't have that. We worried about, I think the biggest thing my parent was, who do we hang around with? That was the influence back in the day, is who did you hang around with made influences today. And then today we worry about of what our children look at, what influences them on social media. But anyway, it's hard to go down a rabbit hole like that. So we'll get back to the main track, what we've been talking about here. So with that, give us some thought. Give us some thought of, when you go through bad times in your mind and you're in your thoughts alone, it's interesting to think about, what did my parents go through, or did they go through these same things? Or maybe if you have a relationship close, your parents are still around, maybe it's a good thought to bring up. Maybe it's a good thing you can bring up and say, hey, this is what I'm going through. Did you ever have to go through this? And so I'm hopefully that I have an open relationship with my children, that maybe they could share with me some things, and I can share some things with them and of past experiences. So with that being said, done rambling, and just kind of probably would have sounded better when the thought came across many weeks ago. I should have recorded it then. So with that being said, got to get ready for work. Thank you for listening, and I will chat with you again very soon. So y'all have a good day, and thank you for listening to Discussions.